Hey everyone, today we are talking about a lot of people's favorite topic these days. We're talking about debt. It's a hot topic right now, it usually is, but especially now with these drastically fluctuating interest rates, right? I have people all around me that have varying stances on debt, as I'm sure you do as well. I have people that are very Dave Ramsey-esque and say all debt is bad, you should have no debt, you should cut up your credit cards. There's no use for debt whatsoever. And then I have people that are more, let's say on the Grant Cardone side of things that are very much willing to take on debt in certain situations. I fall in both categories. So liabilities, we're talking about things that don't produce income and actually cost you money. It's cars, it's watches, it's laptops, it's iPhones, it's all this stuff that you typically think of when you think of the American consumerism, right? That is stuff that I refuse to go into debt on because it doesn't pay me any money in return. It's just costing me money. The flip side of that is assets. I am very willing to take on debt for things that produce income. I think when you study wealthy people or wealthy corporations, they are that way as well. Apple has the largest cash reserves of any corporation, and they still take on debt. Coca-Cola takes on debt. The US government takes on debt. I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good thing, but you can take on debt in a responsible way that can drastically benefit your financial future. And I think if you're in a situation where you can do that, you absolutely should. I wouldn't be able to operate my companies without debt. It takes, and a lot of companies are that way. And because I operate my company, we're able to pay vendors hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that may not get that business elsewhere. We're able to help keep the local real estate ecosystem in motion. We'll take houses that no one else will buy, the worst house on the street that everybody thinks is an eyesore, every neighbor hates it, and turn it into a great home for someone to live in that can also be a cash flowing asset on my balance sheet. I couldn't do that without debt. So you can't convince me that debt is all bad. I've seen too many beautiful, great things created out of debt, and I think that there's good reasons why it exists. That being said, there is a yin to every yang. There is a very dark side of debt. I understand that debt to some people brings up some very negative emotions. Dave Ramsey says there's no bankruptcies without debt. People that have been through a bankruptcy can tell you how difficult that process has been on them and their family and their business. Debt can be really bad if mismanaged or used poorly. So I say take on debt as much as you responsibly can, as long as you're making sure that debt is going to buying you cash flowing assets. It has to be used responsibly. It's a double-edged sword. You can cut somebody with it. You can also get cut by it. It is something that has to be handled with great care and tact, and you have to be responsible. But there are great things that come from the use of debt, and you can't convince me otherwise. Hope that helps you guys when you're making a decision on whether to use debt or not, and that you find creative ways to use that debt to propel yourself, your business, and your family forward. Go out there, hustle on purpose.